Hey YouTube family, this is Nick here with LMD Studios, and today I wanted to teach you how to draw digitally in 7 easy steps by drawing Captain Carter from Marvel's new What If series. I'll be using this image from the show as a reference, but I will not be copying it exactly because I like to add my own style to it to give it my own little flair. So let's get right into it. Step number 1, rough sketching. Okay, this is the step where we determine what we are going to draw and how we want to position it. Personally, I like to do this step with a different color because it is easier for me to differentiate from the other lasers that we're going to get to in just a little bit. Normally, I like to lay out the whole rough before I do any detailed work, but on this one I decided to start with the facial features right off the bat. I don't know why I did this, but I did, and it's not necessarily wrong, but I usually like to see the whole picture before I move on. Step number 2 is refined sketching. At this point is where I start fleshing out the details like the face, the hair, the costume. This is the stage very similar to the inking stage, but everything is still a little rough, and I like it that way because that means I can still make changes to the structure or to the layout and not get too caught up in the progress. This is where I make the final choice that, you know, the direction that I really want to go in. Step number 3, inking. Okay, now we're in the inking stage. This is where we solidify our idea and clean up our lines and finish fleshing out the detail. Don't get me wrong, we can still make changes like I did here with the hair and some of the lines, but majority of the time it's just minor changes at this stage, if any. Step number 4. Okay, on this stage we add the base colors for the entire piece. I like to start off with the background that will make the colors on my palette easier to see, and also add a layer of my color palette so that I can use the eyedropper to make things easier for me when putting the shadows and the highlight. I like to put the lighter color as my base color because it seems easier just to add layers for the highlights and the shadows later on. Also, I would like to point out that this is called the flat stage because the piece really looks flat with just the base layer. Step number 5, shadows. For the shadows, I have to determine where the light is coming from and how it's hitting our subject. For this piece, I choose to have the light source above and a little to the left towards the back, casting sort of a rim light effect. This means that the shadow will be casted from the bottom right of the image. Now, this is the same place that the light is coming from on our reference image, so it was easy to make the choice. Number 6 is the highlights. As for the highlights, I tried to make this easier by starting off with the lighter color first as my base color, so that the only thing I had to do was just be adding the blown out highlights like the rim light and the highlights in the shield. Number 7, details. Okay, this is the home stretch. On this stage, we are polishing up the piece, cleaning up the details, blending the colors if needed, and putting in a background if this doesn't have one. This is the stage as to where everything comes together to finalize the piece and make something awesome. Here it is, the final piece. So there you have it, folks. Those are the 7 steps that I use to draw digitally. Every artist may come to these steps differently and have different techniques, but the fundamentals are there and they are the same through and through. Comment down below if you think I missed something. I would love to get your thoughts on the subject. To be honest, if you have anything that I've missed, I would love to implement it and try to learn and better my own craft. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell just so that you can get notified every time I put out another video like this. Well, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. And until next time, see you guys later.